lovelies, welcome. It's another episode of Cook with Amore, Cook with Love, the #1 self-care cooking show on the planet. We're going to get started today and you're going to love today's episode. So if anyone new, if you're new, if you've recently followed me or you haven't got a bloody clue what it is that I do, I am Paola and I'm a self-care cookery teacher and an Italian food expert. And basically what it is that I do is that I help motivate you, yes you, to inject balance and self-love into your busy, hectic life with feel-good deliciousness and self-care cooking. But I'm also fully aware that many people find cooking a chore. It can feel overwhelming and stressful, especially when we're trying to juggle about 20 million things in a day. However, it's really important that we eat well. So what I help you guys do is motivate you and help you transform and create a positive cooking mindset. Get rid of all those cobwebs and stuff thinking that cooking is just one of those things you've got to do. Absolutely not. Help you bring the joy back into the kitchen. And what I essentially do is I help you create a positive cooking mindset so that you can embrace cooking as a desirable, delicious form of self-care because you all bloody deserve it. The other thing we're going to talk about today is one of the four pillars of self-care cooking. So in previous episodes, we've touched on food shopping. So how we buy our food and our connections with it is one of the pillars, and we discussed how in real life and online are both useful forms to help reduce stress but also create connections with what we cook. We've also touched on in previous episodes about how to create a much more fun and relaxing environment, especially for those people who find the process of cooking at the moment a little bit stressful and overwhelming. So we touched on those on the last episode. Today's pillar is all about our relationship on how we connect with the food that we eat after we've cooked it. Because believe it or not, there are some really unhealthy habits, especially when I come out to here in Italy. It really reminds me of some of the things that we do back home in the UK that isn't really good for our well-being or our self-care. So we're going to unravel that today. I want you to get comfy in your chairs. I want you to be honest with me today, and hopefully we can unlearn some of those common mistakes that we may not realise that we do and know that it's doing us harm. So it's going to be fantastic. Right, shall we get going? So, like I said, we're going to make a 10-minute tomato sauce, which is just divine. My Bella, well, my word, I hate everything I cook. Teach me. Oh my God, straight away we're going to change that language straight away, because I bet you there are some things that you enjoy to cook, but you may not be cooking them at the moment, which may be making you feel the way you do, but we're going to change that. Right, let's get started. So what you need, there's literally about 4 ingredients you need. Bowl of tomatoes, that's all you need. Bowl of tomatoes, can do them with also baby tomatoes. I've asked for baby tomatoes because I don't want to necessarily peel the skin or deseed them, because these will all already be juicy enough. So I would say when you do this recipe, choose the best tomatoes that you can get hold of. I'm not saying go and spend a fortune, but if you feel like you want to make this, love yourself enough and up it up, maybe add an extra 50p to your tomato shop, do you know what I mean? Because it will be all worth it. It's a nice fresh tomato. Right, so we've got tomatoes, we've also got, for the sauce, we've got basil, and we've got garlic and a little bit of olive oil. That's it. How simple is that? So, what I'm going to do, I'm trying a new angle in my kitchen. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. What I'm doing, can you see? I am just slicing my tomatoes in half. It's literally quite boring, because you're all part of this amazing mission that I'm trying to create at the moment, which is try and let's get the nation cooking with love. Do you know what I mean? So I'm so fed up of hearing that dinner's an inconvenience. I'm telling you, there's too many corporates out there, too many companies that are literally making us believe that dinner's an inconvenience with all these solutions and I don't know, whatever, and it does my nutting. I'm like, what is wrong with spending half an hour to an hour every day cooking yourself something lush? Why are we paying someone to deliver us a box of ingredients? Why are we believing that ordering, a takeaway is the best thing for us? It's absolute BS, guys. Tell you what's right for us, cooking us gorgeous home-cooked meals made with love. That is what's going to make us feel fabulous. Do you know what I mean? And my recipes are all easy, they're quick, they're feel good, they're healthy. And we all need that. And that's all self-care, my lovelies. It's all self-care. And if you have a dream, for you to be able to succeed in your dream, or if you're living, if you have a career that you're passionate of and you really want to be successful, I'm telling you right now, the one thing you've got to do is do self-care before you prioritise high productivity. Prioritise high self-care, a shit ton of it, and you will see the correlation when you take care of yourself. Your productivity levels and the way you feel will just go through the roof. I'm telling you. If you feel like you don't have time for self-care, then you need to have a little word with yourself with what's going on around you, because self-care can even just take 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Tomatoes, chopped. Let me show you. Look at these beauties. Da-da-da, tomato heaven. I tell you what, they smell like they smell like tomatoes. I don't know if you've noticed, but I love smelling my food. It's all part of mindfulness, guys. Who else smells their food like me? Right, I'm going to keep half of those. Keeping half of those for like the topping. I don't want to like use them entirely for the sauce. So I'm going to put half into here. Okay, yes, how are you going to care for anyone else if you don't care about yourself? Amen, girl. Amen. 100%. When people say, I'm too busy taking care of other people, I haven't got time for myself, I'm like, yeah, but if you're running down low, if you're literally running yourself to the ground where you are getting yourself burnt out and stressed out, those people that you are trying to look after will eventually start to feel that and notice it, and it does rub off. That energy can rub off to everyone around you, and it's all about creating positive energy and helping those around you the best that you can. So I completely agree with you. Okay, I've got my tomatoes, a little bit of basil. Little bit of basil. Again, give your basil a good whiff. It is so satisfying. Stick it in. Can you see what I'm doing, guys? It's here. I'm just going to just cut it up into, I'm going to just cut it up because I'm using a hand blender. So, ping, 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 ping. It is tomato season at the moment, so tomatoes are in season. So we've got that in there. Right. So I've got a little bit of pasta water, because this is usually cooked with pasta. I'm not going to cook any pasta, it's too hot. I've cooked it earlier when I was cooking the rest of my stuff. But I'm just going to put like literally a droplet of pasta water. Just literally, just to kind of give it a little thing. And then what I'm going to do now, blend it up. Right, here we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put some extra virgin olive oil. I was about to say, where's a man in the house? But I don't need a man to open up a bottle of olive oil, do you know what I mean? So we're going to start. I'm going to talk about the fourth pillar of self-care cooking in a minute. I would use fresh if I grew my own. Supermarket times just don't hit the same, I know. But you know what? This time of year, because tomatoes are in season, my love, I would look out for British tomatoes in the supermarket because they are really, really good. I didn't believe it until a couple of years ago, and I got sent a whole load of British tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, and they were amazing. So it's this. I would only suggest doing this recipe at this time of year where you can get real good seasonal tomatoes. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in. It actually tastes amazing. So, that is, it's a very rustic sauce. It's sensational. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to season it with salt, because you always need to season your food. That's it. Can you see? You've got like a really rustic, fresh tomato sauce that, oh my God, it's so good. Very, very simple. It is fresh tomatoes, little baby pomodorini, garlic, basil, a tiny little bit of pasta water, extra virgin olive oil, salt. That's it. So I'm going to put a little bit more salt. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a really quick pasta salad with it. Pasta in a bowl. I'm using whole grain pasta. Look at this. Look at this. Are you guys ready for the shots? Are you ready for the whoa, yeah. It smells pretty sexy, guys. It smells pretty amazing. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the rest of these fresh toms on top. Doing this one-handed is, I don't know if it's going to be a disaster. But I was trying. Then, you know I love my store-covered ingredients. I've got some tuna. Also got some capers. And that is it. Stirring it with my little baby spoon. But that is a 10-minute meal. Because I was trying to do everything one-handed, it obviously took a little bit longer, but you guys can make this in less than 10. Oh, I'm back. Right, I had poor connection there. I hope you guys are still here. Let me know if you can still hear me. So there you go. That is my quick 10-minute tomato sauce. I've just added some pasta, with some tuna, some capers, and it's absolutely delightful. Now, before you go, we've got 10 minutes before the end of the show. So bloody good, guys. Feed yourself food with love, do you know what I mean? Makes a huge difference. So, now we've got to self-care cooking bit. Now, this is the bit that sometimes people may just be like, do I really need to hear this? The recipe will do me fine. You need to understand, if you're someone who is struggling to take care of themselves and you know you should be looking after yourself better, one of the easiest ways that you can take care of yourself is through cooking. Believe it or not, even though you might find it a chore, you might find it overwhelming, it's a really, really easy way to take care of yourself every single day. And today I want to talk to you about the fourth pillar in self-care cooking, and that is our relationship with our food after we've cooked it. Now, I'm going to ask you, and I want you to be very honest with me, guys, how many of you sit at a table every single night and have your dinner? Or how many of you often sit in front of the TV, even scrolling on your phone while you're feeding yourself? Let me know. Because that's one habit that I never see here. In Italy, I don't see people do it. I mean, maybe where the part of Puglia that I'm in, but every time you cook, you're sat at a table. You're not in front of the TV, you're not on your phone. If you live with other people, you're conversing with those around you and you're connecting with your food. If you're sat in front of the TV and you're eating, you're not really thinking about you're not giving your food the full attention. If you've spent half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour cooking something, and your mind is going to what Sharon on Coronation Street is saying on TV, or if you're scrolling on your phone, you're not giving your cooking the respect it deserves. You're not giving yourself the respect that you deserve. You've just spent time cooking yourself something friggin' lush. And by sitting at a table, that's how you can really connect with your food. And before anyone says, but if I live on my own, I honestly would like, if anyone does sit in front of the TV or you do scroll, I want you to try it going forward. Even if you live on your own, I lived on my own for many, many years. And there were times, now and again I would. There was something that I really wanted to watch. It'd be like a bit of a treat night, do you know what I mean? But even living on your own, love yourself enough to sit at the table, respect yourself, love yourself, the food that you've made, because that's when you really focus on what you're eating. You're being present with yourself. You're being present with your food. And that is when you start to not think about all the other things or get distracted by anything else, because being present is a really important part of wellness and self-care. I have a member in my online self-care membership and she lives on her own. Every time she does one of my classes, I know she lives with her cat, and she always sets up the table like she is cooking for her loved one, but she's cooking for herself. It's like the ultimate show of self-love, and I am so here for it. So if any of you sit in front of the TV or scroll on your phone, focus on yourself and set the table. Setting a table should not just be a Sunday thing. Make a feast of it. Live with other people, live with kids, your husband, your partner, housemates, get them involved. Make it a thing, because honestly, the connections we can make through food, whether you live with other people or you live on your own, are so, so important for our well-being. And number 2 is, how many of you cook something or create lunch or create dinner, but you know you've got to go and do something straight afterwards, so you literally shovel it in. You shovel it in as quickly as you can because you've got to go and do something else. Let me know. Yes, Kate, Emma, her and Snowy, literally, her self-love meals after my classes are just like bring me joy every single time. She's an absolute delight. How many of you shovel your food in? And I'm not saying, I'm just, how many of you aren't even thinking about what you're eating because you've got a task, you've got somewhere to be? Who like shovels it in? Because let me tell you, one of the most important things you really do, as well as sitting at a table and acknowledging your food and loving yourself and acknowledging the beautiful cooking that you've done with love, the other thing is eat slowly. It's so important for two things. It's known, they say that you've got to chew your food 20 times for it to do what it needs to do in our gut, in our body. Now, I'm no nutritionist, so I can't talk on that level. But I have found, I had an ex many years ago, and he literally used to like shovel it in. I used to watch him and be like, I love you, but what are you doing? Like, what is the hurry? Where are you going? We're privileged enough that we aren't going hungry. What's the rush? And I remember saying to him, like, put your food in the mouth, like, take a mouthful, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take in all the different flavours and sensations going on in your mouth. And it will just change the way you feel about your food and your cooking. So when you go and cook and you go and sit down next time, you will give your food and your cooking a lot more respect, and you a lot more respect, because you're taking the time out to embrace and appreciate every mouthful. But thinking that your task, whatever task that you've got to do, is far more important than you eating food, think about that. Think about it. What's more important? The task that you've got to go and do, or you? Listen, we've only got one life, guys, and we've got to be healthy and happy to make the most of it, because it could all frigging change tomorrow. And then all those tasks and all that money we're trying to make and all of that, it's going to mean absolutely F all if we feel like shit. Trust me. So those are my 2 points today. If you're someone who sits in front of the TV and scrolls, sit at a table, give your foods and dinner, like, just show it that little bit of love. Live with people, get them to help you set the table. Live on your own, create a whole self-love experience. It's sensational. And 2, eat slowly. There is no rush. Most of you, I'm assuming all of you, are privileged enough that you're not going hungry. So what's the rush? Enjoy your food. Be present. Be with one with your cooking. And that is all I really want to say today. And I've got my bows. On that note, I have to run to prep for Cocktail Club. Love you. I'm going to see you in half an hour, my love. I'm about to jump off now. But I hope all of you have enjoyed today's episode. It will be going up on my grid. So if you've joined halfway and you're like, what the hell is she going on about? But it intrigues you, go and watch it on my page later. Also, for anyone who doesn't know, I do have a free download. It's called the 12 Essential Italian Self-Care Ingredients. I have 12 essential ingredients that I literally live by, that I can create a number of meals out of it. As long as I've got those store-company ingredients and a few fresh ingredients, I never go hungry. And that's how I know that I'm taking care of myself and cooking myself feel good deliciousness. And next time I jump on the live, I'm going to tell you about something really amazing that's happening in September, but I'm not going to tell you today. You'll have to come back in 2 weeks to find out what I'm talking about. But anyway, oh Maddie, you're welcome, my love. I'm going to go. And thanks, Karen. No, thanks so much for keeping me company. I love doing these. Take care of you. Love yourself. You deserve it. And I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Tesoro mio. Ciao.